nation's favourite antiques experts.
Yes, a good weight.
And it smells.
Oh, steady, behind the wheel of a classic car.
Good morning, my lady.
Good morning, Parker.
And a goal to scour Britain for antiques. Whoopsie.
Come on.
The aim to make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. They'll be worthy winners.
And valiant losers.
Will it be the high road to glory?
It's about winning.
Or the low road to disaster? Pop, pop. This is the Antiques Road Trip. Yee-haw! Today we mostly ramble through the rolling Cotswold Hills.
Gloucestershire.
Look at all these sheep. Oh, there's a lamb.
Appreciating the fauna and the flora through the windows of their landy, auctioneer Catherine Southern from Kent and fellow gaveller Dorset's own Tim Medhurst.
Look at that lovely dry stone wall. I have a real love for walls.
For what?
Walls.
Walls. Coins and walls.
Yeah.
You're great fun, you are.
Fond of an ancient coin, and I'm sure there's still quite a few of them left over from when the Romans ruled around here too.
I absolutely love the Cotswolds, don't you?
I do, and it's like a patchwork quilt, isn't it?
Very nice. They do say that all that grazing over the centuries has made them what they are today. Although remember, hills do go down as well as up.
I really want to get to the top of this. Oh, go, Teddy!
Like a pro. Around we go.
Some of their bone shaker bonhomie can be explained by the events of the last auction, where, after several money mislaying moments, Catherine finally coined it in.
You didn't double your money, you tripled your money.
With Militaria, of all things. While Tim was equally blessed, especially with a bit of Saxon stonework he espied.
£300.
Perhaps his thing about walls paid off here.
Just thinking, you haven't come down with your money at all, have you? You've just gone up and up and up.
Yours has been a little bit more up and down, but it's on the way steadily up.
Let's be honest, mine's been down, down, down.
Catherine set forth with £200, and one road trip roller coaster later, she has £228.94. While Tim, who began with the same sum, has enjoyed a much more straightforward and profitable ride, with £598 plus 36p for our final leg.
That's so much money.
Oh, careful. I need all of that. Don't let it blow out the window.
Careful, Catherine. You won't even notice if I took a few pounds out of this.
After launching in Lewes and seeing some of the south coast, our pair bootled up towards the Thames. Then they went west, almost as far as Wales, before finally exploring the Cotswold Hills en route to Journey's End in Devizes. Later, they'll be in Wiltshire, bound for that oh-so-thrilling conclusion. But the first stop today is Cirencester. A market town that, since the days of those Romans, has made money out of wool. Legendary drummer Cozy Powell also hailed from this burg.
Oh, we're here, look. Cirencester Antique Centre. There's coins in there.
Oh, I'm so pleased they have coins.
He's right, they do. Lots besides, though, Catherine.
Ooh,
Aye, aye.
suits you, sir.
We'll be the judge of that.
Now, this is a man whose style is instantly recognisable, and the name is Keith Murray. He worked for Wedgwood in the 1930s and 1940s as a designer, and his style was very simple. Here we got slightly tapered shapes, very simple, stylish, and then you've got this gentle ribbing at the bottom.
I do love a bit of gentle ribbing.
Didn't really use that many colours. His palette was very basic, but that's what makes it very popular today, because we live in a society where we like quite minimal colours. To see 4 mugs like this, or tankards I should say, is lovely. The price, £88 for the pair. If there is a deal to be done, I'm having those. Daniel! Dan. Are you Daniel or Dan?
Dan.
Dan the man. Now you've got £88 on for a pair. I'd be looking at paying more like that sort of price-ish for all of them.
If you're having all of them, I'm sure we can do quite a good deal for you.
Can you?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Sounds promising. Whoops! What about his nibs?
Daily Sketch newspaper stand. How cool is that? And we've got newspapers here from the 1940s. We've got air raids on London, US tanks, and here, 9th of May 1945. That was only a few days after the Nazis surrendered to the Allies. Isn't that amazing? Priced up £99. I'm tempted. I am tempted. Tell you what, I am going to leave it there for the moment. I might come back to that.
Oh, the front page then.
You know what I'm looking at, don't you? I am looking at this fantastic Victorian storage jar. Shag for tobacco, with the original lid as well. Earthenware, and with a fantastic transfer design. Lovely, because so often these are really badly damaged and you can't read them at all.
Oh, you can definitely read that one, all right.
Lovely condition, no chips. And it smells. It smells of tobacco. The tobacco that you would have had in here would have been the loose tobacco, and it gets its name really from being like almost looking like a shaggy beard or a shaggy wool. That's where the name comes from.
Yep, sure is.
£77. Seems quite a lot, doesn't it? I think if I could get that down, might be worth a punt.
Why ever not? Meanwhile, crikey.
What have you done?
It's okay, it bounced. It's amazing how
I love
resilient
you
ceramics are.
jumped so far.
Take care.
Sorry. You okay? How are you getting on?
Just when it was all going so well. Back to work.
What is this? This is a kaleidoscope. And this is probably late 19th century, I would say. The kaleidoscope was invented by Brewster in the early part of the 19th century.
Scotsman David Brewster was a pioneer of experimental optics and the inventor of several devices.
And if you just look inside here, two mirrors inside, and as you turn it, it's got little tiny chips of colour, and the patterns move
Makes great telly.
as you turn it around.
I'd have to imagine that.
Would have been nice to see a name on this, but can you imagine in the Victorian era, something like this would have been really great fun. It would have been passed around the family. This is really a collectible scientific instrument. And at £38, I think it's mine.
Never mind coloured chips. I think we're about to witness a deal.
Hi, I found another item to add to my pile. Okay, my offer would be £120 for all. So that would be 20 for that, 40 for this, and 60 for those.
So he can do 140 for the lot.
140. Could we do 130?
Yes.
130. Put it there, Dan. You are the man. 20.
Yes, well done, Dan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And while Catherine departs, whither Tim?
Coins, coins, coins. Do you know what? On this road trip, I've not bought one coin. Medieval, Byzantine, Roman. We've got coins dating back to over 2,000 years old here. Look at this one here. We've got Edward VI, a silver shilling. This one would have been minted in the early 1550s. He was the only legitimate son of Henry VIII, crowned at the age of only 9.
His mother was Jane Seymour, wife the third.
We've got a lovely little portrait of Edward VI there, the boy king, and on the back we've got the shield depicting the arms of the realm. And it's just a nice piece of history. We're talking over 450 years old, and you can buy it today for hopefully less than £135.
Quite.
I'm tempted with that one.
Anything else?
This is interesting. So this looks like a Belgian stoneware tankard with a lovely frilled sort of foot rim there and a moulded handle. And what I love about this early stoneware is quite often in the glaze you can even see fingerprints and little areas where they've pressed and moulded the design. And also, I just love the shapes that you get. Look at that, how wonky that is. Look at that. It's literally just flopped as it's been fired, and it just makes them quite unique. Price-wise, £95. That is quite top-heavy. I'll go and find out.
Time to have a word with Brian.
Brian, hi. I found some wonderful items. Shilling, what do you reckon?
120 on that one.
Oh, 120. OK, and you've got 95 on the tankard. What do you think?
85. Could do that for you.
OK. I was wondering, can we go 100 on the shilling and 70 on the tankard and do a deal on that?
I think we can just about do that for you.
Can you?
I think we can.
You're a gent.
Yeah,
I knew you were a gent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's a deal.
All the best.
Fantastic. Now, I have spotted something else.
Right, yeah.
The newspaper stand, priced up £99.
Oh, yes.
What do you reckon your price on that would be?
For you, we could probably do 80 on that
80,
one.
OK.
Yeah.
Can we squeeze another tenner out?
I think we can do that for
Can
you.
you?
Yeah,
£70?
Yes.
OK, fantastic. £70. So we've got 100 for the coin, 70 for the tankard,
Exactly,
and 70
and
for the
70
paper
for
stand.
the stand.
And it comes with the newspapers, doesn't it?
It does, it does.
Fantastic.
I'll bet Tim even prefers old news.
That's for you.
And while he takes his historic haul to the landy, we'll head back into the Cotswold countryside to catch up with Catherine. A few miles down the old Roman road towards Tetbury, where she's come to discover just how important the humble sheep has been hereabouts, in the company of Peter Franklin.
Peter, you must be Peter.
Hello, Catherine. Nice to meet you.
This is a great place to be. What a fantastic office you have.
It doesn't get much better.
No. Now, are you the farmer?
No, I'm not. I wish I was.
You're not in charge of these sheep?
No. My good friend and colleague Sam is the shepherd, but even he would dispute the fact he's in charge of them. We have a little company where we turn the fleece that comes off these sheep into yarn.
And what is this particular breed of sheep called?
These are called Cotswolds, and it's one of what's called long wool sheep. And there are about half a dozen breeds of long wool, and they all came from, we believe, a breed imported by the Romans. Their nickname is the Cotswold Lion.
OK, interesting.
And that came about because they have this very thick, heavy fleece, and from a distance they look a bit like a lion. With a lion's mane.
From a huge distance. I can see the sort of shagginess. Well,
Yes, I mean, it is their nickname.
The Cotswold lion may be a relatively rare beast nowadays, even in the Cotswolds. But back in the Middle Ages, when the wool trade was the backbone of the country's economy, its so-called golden fleece made this area very wealthy indeed. And some of Tetbury's fine architecture demonstrates this.
This is mother and son.
I can see the sort of lion look now with the longer mane, but tell me a little bit more about this fleece.
It will give you a beautiful drape. So if you want something really elegant, a long wool is what you should make it from. But the other thing about this wool is it is the ultimate felting wool. And right up until 1919, the Cotswold fleece was the first choice of the British Army to create their uniforms from. Yeah, there was that as well.
And the colour? What about this sort of golden colour?
This is what's called a lock of the fleece. And this is its pure, natural colour. And this was quite highly prized by the Victorian doll makers. Can you see, if you were to hold that way and put that on the head of a doll, you've got ringlets and almost natural-looking hair. But the other thing, they use it as Father Christmas beards.
For many years, thanks to the rise of synthetic material and cheap imports, British wool was in decline, and the Cotswolds became a rare breed. But thanks to people like Peter, the lion's roaring back.
They have created the Cotswold Hills as you see them today. We need them, and their products still have a viable use that causes less damage to the environment.
That's a really important message, isn't it?
Sure is. But while Catherine's been following the flock, Tim's tried to shepherd a few more purchases into that boot.
The first ever road trip I did last year, I was with the amazing Christina Trevanian, and I lost. She wiped the floor with me, but this time I'm in the lead. I might win this. I bought 3 items, and I still have almost £360. I mean, that is quite a strong position.
I should say so. Now, take a look at this view from Minchinhampton Common towards Stroud. Yes, Tim has made for the former industrial heart of the county. where woolen mills once produced the cloth for Stroud-Water Scarlet military uniforms. Here he comes. This building used to be a malt house, where they'd soak cereal grain in water. So, lots of floor space, basically.
Hello, hello, hello. What have we got here then? Oh, that's heavy. Look at that police station sign. I reckon that looks to me like it's a Victorian sign. I really like that. I don't know what you would do with it. You can't exactly put it above your door, can you? You'd have all sorts of people knocking.
Quite. Makes a change from dun Roman, though, doesn't it?
What a great decorative piece. I want to put it down because that was quite heavy. Who knows? 1880s to 1900, something like that.
No ticket price.
I don't think I've seen many Victorian police station signs come up for sale. I'm going to find out what the price is, because I think in an auction, this could well make 100 to 150, maybe a little bit more.
We've definitely seen him recently.
Look at this. It's our old friend, Nelson. Now, Catherine had a bit of luck in the last auction with her Nelson knocker. And I wonder if a Nelson print would go the same way. I'm going to look straight at the price, £280. To be honest, for a print, that seems like a lot of money. But this is what's known as a tinsel print, and there are avid collectors of tinsel prints. And basically what they did was they got the print of Nelson and they cut it out, layered it up, and they painted a cloud in the background, and it's got these lovely embossed embellishments as well on here, and even his telescope has been added up here as well. The glass in the frame has got the air bubbles in it, so you can tell that the frame itself is probably original to the picture. I reckon that has probably spent its life in that frame since approximately 1850. Let's go and find out what we could get it for.
He's determined not to let that cash burn a hole in his pocket. Off to talk to Anthony.
Hello there. Hello. I found a few things.
Oh, brilliant.
Let me just pass this up to you.
Good, that's me.
It's a hefty old thing. Do you think Victorian?
Definitely.
Tell me the price.
OK, the price of the sign is 480. You picked a good sign.
Oh, I have to leave that. I have to leave. I can't.
OK.
It's just too much for me.
OK.
But this, I love. Tinsel print.
Tinsel
Nelson
print.
himself.
Yeah, beautiful.
Now, it's priced up at 280. I could see that in an auction being estimated at around 150 to 2, something like that.
OK.
What's the movement on that?
The best would be around about sort of 260.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, OK.
They're quite rare, you know.
OK. Is there any chance we can get it under £200?
I think 230 would be our best.
Go on, you can afford it.
I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to buy it for £230. Thank you.
Wow, that's the most he's shelled out for a single item.
There we are.
Now back to the wagon. Still a long way to go.
I can't believe it's our last leg. We've had so much fun.
I will miss you immensely. I really
But not
will.
the car.
The car. Next time, Lotus, please.
Basic she might be, but at least she keeps going. Nighty-night. Next day, we catch up on what's been sold in the world.
How did you get on yesterday?
Not bad.
Yeah?
3 items in the bag. Yes, I think, yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, I did have.
Splash the cash?
Oh, I splashed what I had. I mean, there's not that much.
Oh, I don't know. 130 on a kaleidoscope, a tobacco jar, and a set of tankards isn't bad going.
I do like a bit of Keith Murray.
And thanks to her newfound wealth, she still has got just under 100 left for today.
Cute.
Tim was even splashier, acquiring a 16th century coin, a newspaper stand, a stoneware tankard, and a pricey Admiral Nelson tinsel print,
I've taken gambles on this road trip, and it's paid off.
leaving over £120 for any other purchases. Oh dear.
Catherine, what have you done? You've broken my car.
I didn't do anything. My foot was on the clutch.
It definitely won't
No,
start.
not
will
on
it?
the clutch, on the accelerator.
Do you know, I think I might have spoken too soon.
What are we going to do?
I think I saw a garage several miles that way.
Oh, good.
Should we go and find it?
Later, they'll be devising a means of getting to the auction in devices, but the first stop today is in Chipping Camden. At one end of the 102-mile-long Cotswold Way, also noted for its woolly vernacular. Fresh from her stroll? Not. Looks good in here too, just under 100 left to spend, Catherine, remember?
I've seen something. This is the sort of thing that I would buy all day long. And why would I buy it? I would buy it because this is a double-ended scent bottle. Two different sections there where you can put the scent in. This dates from about the 1860, 1870 period. It's Victorian, and what's lovely about it is the green colour of the glass, but also the way that it's cut, the facets here. But what is also gorgeous about this is it's hinged in the middle. Why is that hinged? Well, it is hinged because it is in the form of a pair of opera glasses. How gorgeous is that?
Yes, so gorgeous.
I would love to buy this, but I know that this is going to be way out of my price range. But I will check. Rachel.
Hi, Catherine.
This tatty old scent bottle here, what's on it?
168.
168. I was right.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It is gorgeous. It is the most beautiful scent bottle I think I've ever held.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
Oh dear. Early days though.
I love this. Majolica with that fabulous crab in the middle. This is not something you would want to eat your fish and chips off. I mean, come on. You would hang that up. That is either a cabinet plate or something that you would hang up on your wall. But look at it. Majolica is wonderful because you have all these items that are 3D and that they stand out on the plate.
Palissyware is the style of the French potter of that name.
We've got the clams, we've got the crab, and we've got the mussels all around the edge. I love this because it's got great texture. It's got a good feel to it. This is very desirable, and if I can get this for £40, this is for me.
Here we go then.
What's it worth? What do you reckon? £258 is on that. If it was 50, I would have had this, and I can guarantee that that would make about £300-400 at auction. That is stonking. Sadly, not for me.
Oh, there they go then. Return to the wild. Hang on, we're back on the scent. Bottle. Rachel?
I have got just under £100.
Yes.
But ideally, I would quite like to buy another little something.
Yes.
Therefore, it would be wonderful if I could purchase it from you at around 80-ish.
I was thinking the lowest I possibly could go would be 90.
Could you do 85?
As it's you, Catherine, go on.
Oh, Rachel,
do it.
thank you very
thank
much
you.
indeed.
Excellent work.
90.
Thank you very much,
There we
Catherine.
are. Thank you, Rachel, that's wonderful.
You're welcome, Catherine.
The sweet smell of success. Hey, looks like the old tank's been repaired too. Catherine will be pleased. Not. Now time for Timothy, not so very far away and about to sample an altogether different means of transport. In the Gloucestershire village of Blockley, at the factory of the Watsonian Squire Sidecar Company. How lovely.
There we are, snug as a bug.
One of Britain's oldest surviving manufacturers.
Are we ready, sir?
I'm very ready. Take it away.
Which one is the fat lady? That's what I want to know. Keeping the show on the road is Watsonian's Ben Matthews.
Was there a real reason sidecars actually took off?
Well, the first production motorcycles were introduced in 1894, and there was a requirement for passengers to travel in a bit more elegance.
And I have to say, it is quite comfortable.
It's very sociable as well. You can have a conversation.
Yeah. Ben, who were making the early sidecars right at the beginning?
Well, actually, in the early days, some of the motorcycle manufacturers were making their own sidecars. So there were Peugeot, Triumph, Harley Davidson. Our company, Watsonian, were founded in 1912, and we've been making sidecars ever since.
Begun by a builder in Birmingham, Watsonian merged with another company, Squire, in the 80s, and they've been based here in the Cotswolds for the last 25 years.
I love it. I might get one of these instead of that Land Rover.
Throughout their history, sidecars have flourished because of their unique adaptability, such as during World War I, when Watsonian made motorcycle ambulances to bring men back from the front. Their original moniker was the Patent Collapsible Sidecar Company Limited. Catchy name.
The idea of that was that it would collapse a little bit like the construction of a cardboard box. It would move into the bike, and that was to enable it to go down the alleyways of Victorian terrace houses so they could store it at the back of the house for security.
When do you think was the most popular period for the sidecar?
The heyday was in the early 1950s, before the small motor car became popular, and at one point there were over 130,000 sidecar outfits on the road in the UK alone.
That's a huge amount, isn't it?
It was quite a classy way to travel. You go away for picnics by the river with a wicker basket on the back, but it was seen as a bit like owning a small sports car.
Sadly, trends tend to change, however, and within a few years, rivals like the three-wheeler, which offered more protection from the elements, and of course the hugely popular Mini had appeared.
By the 60s, the Mini had become a cool car to be seen in and actually made sidecars look a bit unfashionable. You saw it in some sitcoms like George and Mildred and On the Buses. However, there was still a sort of hardcore of people that really wanted to travel by motorcycle and sidecars.
Me being in the antique industry, people want retro interiors and mid-century modern stuff, and this really fits in with that lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. The sidecar has become cool and fashionable again.
I wonder, perhaps we should send a couple of road trippers out on three wheels next time. Now, over to his chum. And as we suspected, the Rover's been resuscitated.
I'm on the way to my final shop of this whole antiques road trip. I have about £13 to spend, but I've shown that I can do anything on this road trip. I can make something out of nothing.
That's the spirit. Just into a new county too. Warwickshire at Long Marston. That'll be the Barn. The wares of over 40 dealers in there.
Ooh.
I wonder which lucky soul will end up with Catherine's wee wad.
Two badly painted children staring at something. Yep, I think it is.
Accurate labels. Good to see.
This is something that I'm automatically drawn towards because it's in the style of a 19th century leeches jar. So it's the sort of thing that you would have had in a chemist, in a pharmacist once upon a time. We're talking 1830s, 1840s. So what it would have been would be a jar essentially like this, a storage jar with perforations around the top, little holes, and it would have contained leeches, big, fat, ugly leeches.
They get a bad rap, them leeches.
Once upon a time, they were fetching high hundreds. This, sadly, is a copy. And as a copy, it's worth £95. I don't want a copy, I want the real thing.
Leeches do feature in the works of Shakespeare, of course. Henry V, to name but one. And Tim's last shopping destination will be the Bard's hometown, because he's about to strut his stuff in the outskirts of Stratford-upon-Avon. Keen as ever.
Hello there.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Good to
I'm
meet
Tim.
you. Hi, Tim. I'm Richard.
Nice to meet you.
Good Shakespearean name, that. This place also looks huge, although Tim does have quite a bit more left to spend, just under £130.
I've found this little first aid cover. Now, first aid covers aren't really my thing, but this one is quite pertinent to me because it's commemorating the sinking of the Titanic. The Titanic sunk on the 15th of April, 1912, over 100 years ago.
This postage stamp was issued on the 90th anniversary of the disaster in 2002.
And this one's interesting because it's signed by Milvina Dean. And Milvina Dean was the youngest on board. The reason why I have a connection to this postcard is because my great-great-grandfather was one of the quartermasters, and he would have stood with Captain Smith as it was sailing through the night. I think even though it's signed by a survivor, I think it's something I won't buy, but what a pleasure to handle it.
Also looking, but not buying. What about back in Long Marston? Not so much Shakespeare as Robert Louis Stevenson. Ah, Jim lad.
Have I broken my leg? Have I got a pair of crutches? No, I have a pair of mid-century polo sticks. Never bought these before. Don't know what's going on, but I think they're rather interesting. You've got a transfer there with the name on it, El Taquero, which I'm guessing is a good name.
Possibly from Argentina, a real polo powerhouse.
I need to find out if I can get these for £13.94. And the man to ask is just over there. David, don't worry, I haven't injured myself, but I have found a pair of polo sticks, which are rather interesting. I would quite like to buy them.
OK.
I have £13.94. Any chance?
Yes, I think so.
Fantastic. That is every single penny I have. Thank you
Great.
very much indeed.
all
You've
right,
made me very
thank
happy.
So, polo at low, low prices. And with Catherine now on her way to collect Tim, how are things in Stratford?
Look at this lovely little portrait. I love that. I'm a real fan of Victorian naive art. And when I say naive art, someone that just picked up a paintbrush and wanted to paint a nice picture of a relative, maybe a sister, a little Victorian girl in a nice dress holding a couple of cherries there as well. I should think dates to around 1840, 1850, something of that period. So it could be in its original maple frame, and it is just quite pretty and actually quite commercial. Naive paintings and portraits like this do sell quite well. I'm gonna have a look at the price, and it says £48. That's a price I like to see.
Time to talk to Richard, the second.
How you doing, Tim? How you got on?
Yeah, not bad at all. I have found this charming watercolour. Now, I love it,
Yeah, it's delightful, isn't it?
but it all comes down to price, doesn't it?
As it always does.
Now, you've got £48 on this.
OK.
Is there much movement?
Yeah, we can do something, Tim.
OK, what is it, a little something or a big something or
44.
44? Can we get it to the £40 mark, do you think?
Why don't we meet in the middle?
42?
Yeah.
42 is
OK.
the deal. I'm happy.
And that's the very last purchase of your trip.
See you again. Take care.
Let's regroup and reminisce.
How are you feeling together?
Elated! I've had a fabulous road trip. I've had disasters after disaster after disaster. And now I feel so happy. What about you?
I'm feeling a bit sad that it's nearing the end of our road trip together,
Don't be
but we
sad.
have had the most amazing time. I've absolutely loved it.
Hang on, it's not over yet. One more sleep first. There they go. How do you like these 29 locks, enabling the Kennet and Avon Canal to rise 237 feet? Nicely devised, I think you'll agree. After setting forth from Cirencester and thoroughly doing the Cotswolds, Catherine and Tim have headed south towards Wiltshire and Henry Aldridge and Son with internet bidding.
Catherine, this is it, the finale.
Oh, that sounds very final, doesn't it? But it is.
Yeah, that's finales for you.
Let's go out on a high with a bang.
Here, here. Catherine certainly went for broke, spending all of her £228.94 on 5 auction lots. She's so brave.
Oh, Catherine, you have stumped me. I know nothing about polo, but she paid £13.94, and the most she can lose is £13.94. You never know. There might be a couple of polo enthusiasts who will go mad for a pair of these. Fingers crossed.
Tim, meanwhile, spent a lot more. But then he did have the funds, £512, also on 5 auction lots.
I think this is a bit special. Always a big fan of anything relating to Nelson and maritime, but the detail in this is really quite exceptional. Tim paid £230, a little bit top heavy. I'm not sure it's going to quite get to £230, but it's a very, very nice example.
Now, let's hear the esteemed opinions of Devise's hammer god, Alan Aldridge.
The scent bottle, I think, is one of the nicest of the items. Has a stopper missing, which is a bit of a pity, but it's charming. Objects of virtue are very collectible. The Edward Shilling is the thing that I think is going to sell the easiest. It is a rare thing because that particular king did not reign for a very long time.
Time for our two to accede to their thrones. What's the mood?
This is so exciting.
Are you nervous?
I am. I'm actually quite stressed about this one.
I can feel it. I'm really feeling the tension from you. You made some gambles.
I did. Some big gambles.
Well, try to relax because Catherine the First goes first. Her Victorian tobacco jar.
20, 20 I've got. 25, 30, 35, 40. At 35 in the room.
Come on, it's worth it.
35 at 35 at 35.
No.
35, 40. 45 at £40, all going.
That hurt.
Yeah.
Doesn't augur well, does it? Bad luck.
I'm getting over it already.
We're over it. It's fine.
Tim's little naive daub is next, plus cherries.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
There's people queuing up to buy
60,
it.
70, 80 at £70.
Come on, keep going.
In the room, 80 quick, 80 net, 90.
Come on,
And
sir,
Shrouds
one more.
do not have pockets.
No, don't encourage him.
85 fresh blood, 90, 95.
How did this make sense?
The chap at the back loves it.
He's back at 100, 110, sir. £100 on the internet. £100.
That's a relief.
A picture of happiness.
More than double my money. Happy
well.
dance. Happy dance.
Catherine's Keith Murray tankards. Oh no, one of them's taken quite a knock.
It's nothing to do with me, but it has got broken. Yes,
Okay.
in transit. Actually, not broken, destroyed.
20. £20 I've got.
That's an absolute steal, isn't it?
They're 30, £40 each.
On the maiden, nothing on the internet. At £20, all done.
Someone's got 3 very nice tankards at least.
It does show that you can go to auctions and get bargains.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Time for Tim's biggest gamble. We know that Nelson's popular, and not just with Tim.
I'm a bit sad to say goodbye.
And we've got a modest bid of 65 on the internet. 75 now.
Got a long way to go.
80, 85, 90, 95.
Fine.
The internet's going.
Oh, come on, stop worrying.
100, 110.
Don't stop, don't stop.
Right, 110, 120 in the room, 130 internet, 130, 140, 150. At 150 is there 160? At 150.
Catherine, cover my ears.
At 150, at 150, last call.
Oh, I feel your pain.
My gamble did not pay off.
Well, it was well worth taking.
I feel like someone's stuck a pin in me and I've just gone...
Catherine's lovely opera glass scent bottles are up next.
30 starts me, 30 I've got.
30, I need
30
a
Got a long way to go there, haven't you?
£30, £30. 35.
There's a lady
40,
coming.
45. At £40 on the internet. £40. Is there 45? Very
It's just too cheap. No.
At £40.
That is very disappointing.
It's looking like one of those days, I'm afraid.
It was a nice little scent bottle.
Thank you.
Good to see Tim's Belgian stoneware has survived the trip at least.
I have an opening bid of 25 from America.
Oh.
25 I've got.
Come on, this is a 16th century tankard for £25.
25, 30. Somebody give me 30.
Come on, that's ridiculous.
30, 25.
That's absolutely
25,
ridiculous.
30, and £25.
Oh, my word.
It's putting it very politely, I'd say.
Almost 500 years old, it's in one piece. And it's sold for £25.
Quick, change the subject. Catherine's kaleidoscope.
£10 starts me, 10 I've
£10
got,
bid.
15, 20, no, 15 at the back of the room.
Goodness.
20 quickly,
You've got 15.
£15.
I don't understand that at all.
I think we're all a tad confused.
Hopefully one of us will make some money soon.
That'd be nice.
Perhaps young Edward Tudor can do something about that.
Start me 50.
No.
40.
Oh, no.
30. 30 I've got. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
At £60. £60 is there 5 at £60 at £60.
Oh no, that was so cheap. That was so cheap. That £60. I would buy 1,000 of those for £60 if I could.
Definitely not his lucky coin.
I don't know what to say.
£60. £60.
£60. Do you want to say that again?
£60. I can't believe it.
60. What was it?
£60.
Was it 60?
Yep, 60. Jolly polo sticks, anyone? Catherine's final lot is next.
20.
Can you hear the people bidding?
Right, I'm sorry, my darlings, I'll have to ask a tenner.
That's all right. Just sell them.
At £10 I've got.
£10, you've got a tenner.
15. £10. Right, anywhere else £15? No, got to go at a tenner. 146 then.
I'd say that's a bit of a chucker.
It's gone well, hasn't it?
Yeah,
it's gone really well.
Yeah, made lots of money.
We're doing really well here.
Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit. Next, Tim's newspaper stand.
£80.
Someone's offered £20. How cheeky.
We can't argue. £20
Well,
we've
you
got.
can argue.
20 we've got.
£20, wow.
£20 in the room. Is there 25? 25? 30. That's 30.
Ooh,
35?
gone up £10.
£30.
We're good at this, aren't we?
We are. I think we should do this for a living.
Read all about it. Road trip experts experience inauspicious day at Wiltshire Sail Room. Read all about it.
I've been ahead almost the whole of this road trip, haven't I? By quite a way, but actually with my massive losses today, I wonder if actually you might be in the lead. I don't know.
I could have won.
You could.
I could win this.
You could, and I might maybe left trailing behind.
I could win this by being less rubbish.
Yes, should we go and find out?
Sadly for Catherine, although the gap has closed, there's still plenty of fresh air between them. Catherine started out with just over £200, and after auction costs, she'd had a bit of a loss. Her final total is £102.50p. While Tim, who began with almost £600, made an even bigger loss also after costs, and finishes the week with a match-winning £385.66p. All final profits go to children in need. Well done, chaps.
What can I say? What can I say except congratulations?
I know, my first
friend.
ever road trip win.
You are the champion.
And you've done so well. You lost quite a lot of money early on, and I know how difficult it is to buy good things with little money. So hats off to you. We've had a great trip.
One of the finest.
You ready?
Trips, that is.
What did you think of my dinner dong? Dinner dong?
£100.
Oh, I don't know where I'm going. So I'll pour your cup of tea. Oh.
A shop display shortage jaw. Sorry.
Caroline.
Catherine.
Oh, sorry. Madam, would you like to?
What fun. Next time, a fragrant new expert.
Oh, they all smell so good.
Can Izzy Balmer trump veteran James Braxton?
Oh!
Join them for the ride.
I've got butterflies in my stomach.
Izzy, I can't bear to look anymore.